of American Warrior Radio, the place to be for news, notes, interviews, and current events for all issues military and veteran related. If you or someone you know has ever worn the uniform of the U.S. Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, Coast Guard, or National Guard or Reserves, you've come to the right place. American Warrior Radio, right here on the Talk to Me station, AM 1300 WMEL, and online worldwide at 1300WMEL.com, sponsored by AVET Project. Folks, this program is all about supporting our troops and their families, both past and present. So please get comfortable, grab a cup of coffee, a glass of iced tea, pencil and paper, because we're always bringing you information that you may want to jot down for yourself or to share with somebody else. With that said, let's roll down the runway and get this episode off the ground. My name is Garen Cohn. I'm an Air Force veteran, a retired legal advocate for veterans, and founder of AVET Project, but I never fly through the airwaves alone.
Good morning. I'm Glenn McGuffey, retired Air Force, and recently retired manager of the Brevard County Veteran Services team, so I'm retired.
Double dipper, triple dipper.
Yeah, triple dipper. And today, as usual, we have a very informative and fun show for you. It's getting close to a cutoff date that you need to know about, so stay out there and listen in. In a couple of minutes, I'm going to tell you about some tax exemptions you may qualify for.
Exactly.
But first, Garen.
Yeah, we've got a whole bunch of news we want to bring you, and we've got a special guest, so stay tuned for the bottom of the hour, the second segment of American Warrior Radio. You'll definitely not want to miss that. I just wanted to share with everybody out there in Radio Land, and whether you're here on the Space Coast of Florida, somewhere else in Florida, or anywhere in the United States or the world for that matter, we had a wonderful outpouring of community support to welcome home the 715th Military Police Company from their third tour in Afghanistan this last Tuesday, Glenn. It was just incredible.
Welcome back. That was great. In fact, it was front page, and I think that was appropriate.
Oh, for sure. The media really came out this time, and we so appreciate Channel 2, Channel 35, and Channel 13 here locally on the TV, and can't go any further without saying thank you so much to Florida Today, and especially Norm Moody and his photographer, because they really put some great stories and pictures, because it's a real homecoming. Their third deployment, Glenn, and the neat thing is their new commander, Captain Tom Hoskins, brought everybody back home safely. Didn't lose a soul.
Yeah, that's the wonderful part. Well, it's all wonderful, but it's even more wonderful when you bring everybody back.
So big salute to Captain Tom Hoskins and the whole crew there that deployed to protect us, folks. That's what they went over there for. They went over there to secure our freedom and liberty so that we can continue to listen to American Warrior Radio and all the other fine programs on WMEL and just enjoy this incredible country we live in.
That's right, and we're doing all the work for you, so just sit back and relax, and we're going to bring you a lot of good information about veterans' benefits.
And with that being said, you told them to grab a pen and paper because there's a deadline looming, and it's an important one. What do you got, Glenn?
Okay, 1 March is the deadline for disabled veterans who may qualify for tax exemptions and or discounts to file their claim with the tax collector office. Even if it's not completely together at that time, you need to file before 1 March to qualify for this year's exemption. Now let me give you what I call a high side pass as to what might make you eligible for one of these exemptions or a discount. First off, if you're rated 10 to 90% service-connected disabled, then you're entitled to a $5,000 tax exemption. In other words, $5,000 is subtracted from the assessed value of your home for tax purposes. And in general, on average, that works out to $100 savings out of your pocket.
Real money.
Real money. It does not, as I've been asked several times, it does not mean that you get $5,000 off your tax bill.
Dang it.
I know. Shucks.
But it's a healthy exemption. It's a healthy discount.
That's right. And once you get these in force, you don't have to reapply every year.
That's a good point.
Unless your service-connected disability got up to 100%, or one that I'm going to mention at the end gets up higher if it's rated higher than it is right now. But before we get to that, the big one is if you're rated 100% permanent and total disabled, then you get a total property tax exemption. Now, what we're talking about here is the property tax exemption based on the assessed value of your home. So if you're 100% service connected, permanent and total, then you're not going to pay any of those ad valorem taxes. You will pay other kinds of fees if you have them in your bill, like fire service and those kind of things.
Of course. So the VA has determined you to be not like you're not going to improve. Your health condition is static. You're 100% permanently and totally disabled. You don't have to pay those taxes.
That's right, and it's permanent. There's several reasons why you might be temporary, and that doesn't qualify you for the total tax exemption. But, you know, if you're not sure, go apply, and they will sort it out for you. And you're going to end up being sent to the County Veteran Service Office to get a letter of eligibility for these exemptions. The last one is a fairly new one, and it recently changed where you only have to be a resident of Florida for a year or more rather than 2 years or more that it was before. And that's
so relaxing the qualifications, we like that.
Yeah, we love that because maybe 3 people in Florida qualified before. And this is a combat-related discount, not an exemption. It's a discount. If it's found that one of your disabilities rated 10% or higher is combat-related, then you can go to the County Veteran Service Office in Building B in the County Government Center in Viera and put your application in with them to start with, because they're going to be the ones that if you go to the tax office, they're going to send it over to them anyway.
Straight back to them.
To make the determination, because the tax people are not trained to know what is combat related and what's not.
Well, let me stop you there. What is combat related? What's this instrumentality of war versus battlefield? Give us some definitions.
Okay, well, the easy one is, yeah, it's combat related. You were in combat, and that's what caused you to get wounded or get broken leg or shrapnel wounds or those kind of things.
Even post-traumatic stress disorder?
Even post-traumatic stress disorder, good point. An instrumentality of war is something unique to the military, like a ship.
Or a tank.
Or a tank.
Or a Humvee.
Or a Humvee. Those kind of things.
Like if you fell or got run over by one and got a disability.
Yeah, things unique to the military. So, and, you know, that's why you have to apply and see if you're possibly eligible. And
so you'll get this letter from the Brevard County Veteran Service Office indicating or signifying that if not all, a percentage of your disability award from the VA is related to combat.
That's right.
Okay.
And if they find that some of your disabilities are related to combat, even one of them, then your total disability will be taken into account to determine the discount.
We like that. Okay.
Yeah. Other things that could be real quick for you to consider is injuries from a parachute jump, that's training for war, and other types of injuries that you might have incurred training for war, not actually in a war. You know, I think of this big exercise they used to have in Germany annually when I was stationed there called Reforger, where they went around and tore up the German countryside with their tanks and everything annually. Didn't make the German hosts too happy sometimes, but they got a little rambunctious, I think, but that's another story. So you've got to be 65 years of age or older, and you must be a resident of Florida for a year or more.
This is for the combat related.
This is for the combat related, and here's how it works. First, you got to get your 214 and all your VA rating decisions together and take those to the County Veteran Service Office. If you don't have them, you can still go there, and they may or may not be able to obtain that for you. If not, you might have to call the VA and get them to ship that for you. That's why I'm saying you may have to apply without having all the evidence needed at the time, and maybe you'll end up qualified and maybe you won't. but at least you'll beat the deadline.
Exactly. And another way you can access your records is through EVET-REX, Electronic Veteran Records. And
if you're enrolled in it.
Right. Well, you can go to avetproject.org and click on the Benefits tab. It'll take you to a new screen. About halfway down, you'll see a hyperlink that says EVET-REX. Just follow the prompts, and you can order your personnel file, your DD-214, even your service medical records, a copy of them, from NPRC, National Personnel Records Center.
Right.
They'll send them right to your doorstep, and then you'll have them, and then you need to safeguard them, like we say about all other documents.
Yeah, don't lose those, and hopefully your house doesn't burn down or something that causes you to lose those, because it's vital to have the evidence to qualify not only for this benefit, for any benefits that you might be trying to access.
Exactly.
And let me finish off here real quick on the high side pass and say, here's how it works. So let's say you've got a 30%, you've got 50% total disability, and they find that 30% of it is combat related through the complex rules that are in effect regarding that. So you'll get not a 30% but a 50% discount, because your total disability is what will be awarded the discount. And since you're between 10 and 90, you're going to get the $5,000 exemption.
Of course.
And then what's left for your tax bill is going to be cut in half in this example. It's going to be reduced by a 50% discount. Hoorah! If you think you're eligible, better get moving. 1 March is coming. If you can apply year-round, but if you apply after 1 March, it's going to be for a subsequent year.
Exactly. So that's the deadline, and you know how the weeks fly by. 2013's long gone, and we're already well into the first quarter of 2014.
My goodness, yes.
The date, one more time, is
1 March this year.
Now that means you got to collect this information. You got to scoot over to the County Veteran Service Office. If you're in Alachua County, they've got the same services, right?
Yeah, and you still need to go to your county service office, because they're going to have to work with the tax people in that county. Because again, the tax people, and they're more than happy to get the help from the county service office. They're not trained to know what's a combat-related disability, and they don't have access to the kinds of information to help determine that the County Veteran Service Office does.
Okay, excellent. Anything else on that topic? Because I want to finish up on a note with that if we can.
No, that's enough. I think I've whetted your appetite.
It's a deadline, folks, and we always push those. If you are listening to American Warrior Radio, and we know a lot of you are, outside the state of Florida, because we got wonderful county veteran service offices in each county in Florida. Some what, 67?
67 counties. Each one got one.
If you're in Maryland or Tennessee or Utah and you have questions about your eligibility for some sort of relief, abatement, exemption, discount regarding property taxes, you need to check into it, because it isn't necessarily just here in Florida. Many, if I won't say all, but I know a whole lot of states do offer property tax exemptions for service-connected disabled veterans.
And the rules will be different because this is a state benefit, not a VA national benefit.
Exactly, but they kind of work hand in glove there, because you have to have one before you get the other.
That's correct.
You got to have your VA paperwork together, DD-214, yada yada. Okay, another important issue that I know you've been chomping at the bit to give the listeners some new info on is the nursing home status. What do you got on that?
Okay, well, right now Florida's got 5 state nursing homes for veterans, and the goal that they had for many a year now is to get up to 10, because we've got 1.6 million veterans, the third largest state in the United States for number of veterans, and
that's why they call this God's waiting room.
On top of that, we have the oldest veterans population of any state in the nation.
So God's waiting room, Florida.
That's right. I'm quickly joining those folks.
Oh, come on, Glenn. You're a young man now. Come on. So nursing homes, we want to go from 5 to 10. That's the hope, anyway.
That's the hope, and the Chief Executive for Florida Department of Veterans Affairs,
Colonel Prendergast.
Yeah, Mike Prendergast. That's a hard name to pronounce.
Well, because too many R's. Prendergast.
I know.
He's the executive director of the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs.
That's right, and he gave a presentation recently to the state legislature, and as part of that, they had conducted a study recommending where to build more nursing homes in Florida, and Collier and Lee counties, and the reason you'll hear more than one county is because they take in a catchment area, not just one county. They take in like a 60-mile catchment area to count up the number of veterans by age and all that kind of stuff to determine the need. And the first one is Collier and Lee counties, and of course that's over in the kind of southwest coast of Florida.
Southwest coast, okay.
In fact, I think Collier has the richest people in Florida as a county.
Oh, well, then let's build a nursing home there. Makes perfect sense.
Well, that doesn't mean the veterans there are rich.
Well, exactly, Glenn. I was just being a little facetious.
I know.
We got to take care of our vets wherever they are.
And then that was followed by Polk, Manatee, and Hillsborough. Of course, Hillsborough's Tampa, so those are the other two surrounding counties to there. So that's the top two. Then followed by Marion, Putnam, and Sumter counties. And Marion County is where Gainesville and University of Florida is, to give you some idea on the geographic map of where that is. St. Lucie County was listed as fourth, and that's a little south of us.
I'd like to see that happen.
You bet. With Palm Beach ranked fifth, which I found very interesting because Palm Beach County has the most veterans of any county in the state of Florida.
Oh.
Interesting. So would Palm Beach be served by the St. Lucie, maybe?
Yeah, it would.
Okay.
Or vice versa. So, all 10 counties listed in the report are now getting a letter from the Florida Department of Veterans Affairs asking them to gather facts and probably to make a bid and all that kind of stuff on what's going on, to make sure they got some property that will be donated and those kind of things.
And the state works with the federal government to put these things together.
That's right. And fortunately, the state has included more than $1.5 million investment to lay the groundwork for the construction now of 2 new veterans nursing homes. Vitally needed. The fill rate right now in the 5 that we have is 99%. So
oh my gosh.
With just normal turnover, that's full.
Yeah, for sure.
With a waiting list.
Right. And we've got an aging veteran population, like you said, so...
Exactly. So that's going on. It'll take a little time, and as Guerin mentioned, the VA kicks in quite a bit of money on the construction part of this, and they have been also including a VA pharmacy in-house with these nursing homes as an extra benefit. So, and the VA, of course, is paying for all that and the manning on that. So that, looking forward to that, because with that 99% fill rate, we desperately need them.
Yeah, definitely. So that's some good news that at least we're moving forward. We're moving in the right direction, which is to help meet the needs of our veterans here. Our producer's shoving this note in my face saying, don't forget about other states. Again, I can't encourage you enough, folks. If you're in another state listening to American Warrior Radio, Texas, North Dakota, wherever, and you know of somebody, you have a family member that's a vet that's in need of nursing care, get in touch with, you can Google, that's a good place to start.
Yeah.
And we'll have more resources. You just have to follow us on Facebook. You just got to go to AVET Project on Facebook, American Warrior Radio on Facebook, which you can access through WMEL, 1300WMEL.com. Click on the programs, go to Saturday, and you'll see our link there along with the Facebook link and even a little interesting information about this program itself. Glenn, we're running out of time here. We got to hit this because here's another time-sensitive issue. Space Coast Community Law School is about to start up again, and our good friends at Telfer, Faraday, Anderson, and Hawkins, especially Britta and Krista and all her group there, do such a phenomenal job in putting together
the Community Law School free legal seminars.
Free. Okay, can't say that enough. So what are some of the topics that Britta's looking to cover this year?
How to think like a lawyer.
This
Contract law.
And now, the date. How to think like a lawyer. Whatever that might involve. Sounds interesting. March 6th.
Oh yeah, it's starting off on March 6th, and then it runs for several weeks after that through April 24th. Other subjects are contract law, trial process and advocacy, debt and credit card defense, very important in this day and age.
No kidding.
And firearms, which always fills up.
Packs the house.
Wills, trust, and probate.
Also of utmost importance.
You bet. Auto accidents from beginning to end, and the First Amendment. And it's going to be located out at the Moore Justice Center in Viera. And it's going to be 6 to 8 p.m. It's in the jury room at the Moore Justice Center, starting 3/6/14. And you need, pre-registration is definitely suggested, especially for some of the ones we know that fill before, like firearms.
Easiest way, get your pen. SCCLS, Sierra Charlie Charlie Lima Sierra.com. That's Space Coast Community Law School.com, SCCLS.com. The site is under construction a little bit right now, so if you have difficulty, phone is
321-269-6833. 269-6833.
And go online and check out the schedule because you'll want to get signed up for those classes. We've got an incredible guest coming up. We're kind of going to stay in the legal realm here today. So don't go anywhere. American Warrior Radio is going to be right back with an exciting guest. And I'm here to tell you, you don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Very good. Okay, ready to rock and roll.
Excellent.
Okay, let's do it.
Christy, can you hear me?
She can hear you now.
Hi, Christy.
Hi, can you hear me?
Oh, you're coming through loud and clear. You got a copy there, Glenn?